day. So all Israel stoned him with stones, and they burned them with fire. After they had stoned them with stones, then they raised over him a great heap of stone, still there to this day. So the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger. Therefore, the name of that place has been called the Valley of Achor to this day. If you read this as I read through, you can see clearly that the God has found out who has done it. He knows who has done it, but they have to go through, got the person out. Now they are about to kill that person, burn him. They stone him and burn him. You see how people were treated at that time. When you get caught in certain situation that the Spirit has been speaking to them, whether it is God or not, nobody can tell. But you are supposed to believe along that line, and I'm supposed to believe along that line. So let's go along that line. So God has told them to burn and kill such a person. God didn't kill the person himself. He put him there for them to stone him. Whether those people stoning him were holy, righteous, they were not with any sin, whatever it is. They stoned this guy and burned him, and his family and his goats and everything about him, because he's defiling the whole group. So they have to take him out in that manner. And now God then will forgive them, and God will forget everything, because they have shown that, they love God more than anybody who stands in the way, and still that would be right because they've done the right thing. But why should they be the one to do all that? This guy done whatever he did. God was supposed to do it. Now, he also proved that the human being has got his own independent mind, that he does things on his own. And the things that he does on his own, if he goes wrong or he goes right, entirely up to him. And somehow it is God's place to come and sort of dig out what it is that has gone wrong. That's how the Bible presents things now. But there are other presentations also that comes through. What I was looking for is the fight, asking them to go to war. But this is all the preparation that they have to do to go to war, because they lost, or they were finding difficult in winning the wars. So this is what stopped them from going there. But actually it's clearly showing that God condoned wars at this time, because they have to go to war to defend themselves, to fight, to win lands and take over. Because when he's asking them to go to Canaan, knowing that there are people there, how would they take over that place? They have to fight, kill the people, and drive them, or take over to take control of the people. If God send people to Africa or send people to Britain or America and all that, but to take over because he has promised them that they should take that land, obviously the people there are no significant to the whole. They are supposed to take them out. They are some sort of considered as insignificant, so they have to take them out so that these people will take over. So you can imagine the same God, whether these people believe or not believe, they are still the same God. Why would they believe if they haven't found? If God was to show them what he has shown the Jewish people, would they not believe? If God's to be there right now, I have chosen to believe. I have chosen to believe that the mere fact that define God as a mere fact, as someone who I have come out of, someone who has got the ultimate power, considering the entire world we live in, the magnificent world that I see, that he has power and he did everything. He's all-powerful. There's nothing that can stand in his way. And somehow he's also, I'm not just exalting, I'm defining what I've seen and defining that God. So it's not trying to invent something for myself, until the moment of a declaration from God himself saying that the things you say yet is true. I did all that. Or a spirit will not come and just tell me that, I am God, and then you fall for it. That is my definition of God. I have a definition of God. That is how I know God. That is how I am seeing God. The knowledge of knowing God, that is the knowledge I have about God, and that's all there is to it. Do I know God personally or no? That is not what this isn't what I'm trying to say, or this is not what I'm saying. My words are clear. Knowledge of God is what definition of God. That's what I know. That's what I understand of God. Not believing. Believing comes in if knowing in person. But believing is just a means of a state of imagination, or somehow you having hope in something. Something that does not exist or may exist. That is the nature of it. That is not so solid. It's more solid to have a definition of something that you base your belief or your understanding, or you can always define yourself in that sense. So as we're saying here, if God in every sense is as I see fit, as I see and as I define him, then based on that, I expect that God will not, put anybody in that situation. Neither will he ask the Jewish people to say, hey, bring that person out and do that and slaughter him and burn his whole family to solve the problem. God will do it himself. He has every right within himself, more than you as a person. He can take that life. He could have prevented it. But as people are they are individual with their own mindset, the ability to be in that state, then somehow it's being presented in such a way that you are responsible for the things you do, that you knew you should know better. And if you don't allow yourself to know better or to think better, then you are responsible for that, and God will come in and punish you for something that you do wrong. So let's normally have at the back of our mind what we need to know about these things as we look through. And we may not have find that straightforward certain ways that are coming from the Bible about the sinning out, but there are many of them that I'll pick it up and point it out to you. God's direct instruction of the Jewish people making their fight, and the one in the gospel also from Jesus also that admires or gives people to sort of be ready to sort of defend themselves at all times. And when we know all these things, we know if you read like Deuteronomy Deuteronomy 32, chapter 32, Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse all the way through to verse 39. Now see that I, even I, am he, and there is no God besides me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Nor is there any who can deliver from my hand. Nobody can save you from God's hands. God is the one he kills and he makes alive. He gives life. He wounds people and he can heal people. Nobody can take you from his hand. This is another description from Deuteronomy 32, verse 39 in the Bible. The possibility thinkers. As I read through right now, it's right there. This is the type of God we're talking about. This is who Jehovah is. This is the presentation. Even though I'm saying it as imitation, or let's say something that is used to sort of represent what is there or what it should be there. So it could be anything, but at the end of the day, this is what is given out, that we have to see it as correct, direct translation of what is there in the scripture that they go, wherever the scripture is. So in a sense, it's trying to say, if this is what is there in the scripture, it's trying to say who Jehovah is, describing the Jewish God to us here. For I raise my hand to heaven and say, as I live forever, for I whet my glittering sword, and my hand takes hold on judgment. I will render vengeance to my enemies and repay those who hate me. Anybody who hates God is an enemy. Those who stand against God is an enemy. God knows his enemies, and he hasn't stricken them. He knows his enemies. There are even, right now the Bible talks about Lucifer and devil, as it is being judged, condemned by God, that God knows the future and knows that Lucifer will never change. If Lucifer is the devil, or there is any Lucifer at all, according to the Bible, from what I read or what anybody will read, he's not going to change. So God knows that he's not going to change. Why is he still alive? Why has he been giving him time to live for some time? Or why is he still there? Why is evil or witchcraft there? Witchcraft is something designed as something evil. If somebody decided, they look at you and say you're a witchcraft or you're a wizard, it's like you're an evil person. And all you do is evil things. So why would you live? Why should they exist?